In this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble your Alias Belt system MOLLE adapter to your MOLLE accessories. I'm going to start by assembling on a single row MOLLE. Some of your accessories will have 2 rows with stitching down the middle. I'm going to do that one next. But let's start on this. So you're going to have a couple things when you get this product. You're going to have this assembly, and then you're going to have this fork, essentially. What you're going to want to do is take the nut and go ahead and pop those through the holes. And then I like to assemble on the bottom 2 sets of MOLLE. That's just the ride height that I prefer. If you like your accessories to ride a little bit lower, then you can use the top 2. I'm going to go ahead and just slide this under the bottom set there. Now I'm going to take this assembly. You can see there's forks pre-installed on there. And I'm going to put that underneath this set of this webbing right here. This one's pretty loose, so it's going to be pretty easy. You might find that yours is really tight and it might be a little bit harder. You're going to have to jimmy with that a little bit to get it to work. This part I need to do on the table here. So take the fork that you put in the bottom and push it up against the webbing. Take the spacers and go ahead and put them over top of the nut. And then you're going to line up the holes from the bottom of your plate into the holes on those forks. And you might have to kind of force things together a little bit. You might have to kind of lift this up to get it on there. Do whatever you got to do to get those holes to line up. Once they do line up, take the screws and go ahead and get those tightened up. If you prefer to add a little blue Loctite, feel free to add that to make sure that they don't come undone. I found that as long as I torque things enough that they don't really come undone. So there we go. I've got my tourniquet holder here set up with the MOLLE adapter, and I can now attach it to my Alias belt. Let's go ahead and look at the double MOLLE webbing. So we're going to start with the same thing. We're going to take the forks, put the nut through that like so. Now I'm going to take the fork and I'm going to put the stitching in the middle of the fork there. I'm going to go ahead and push that up all the way like that. Now these ones are also kind of nice and loose here. I've had this for a long time, maybe a little stretched out. Your experience may be a little different, but I'm able to just slide this on. Before I get it slid all the way in, I'm going to take the spacers, put those on there, and then I'm just going to kind of jostle it around until I get those holes to line up, and tighten my screws. So this should work on pretty much every MOLLE webbing accessory that you have, whether it's a mag holder or a flashlight, whatever it is. As long as it is a 1-inch webbing or more, then you're going to be good to go. If you find yourself an accessory that is really, really difficult to get the top forks into, then you may want to go ahead and remove these top sets of forks. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and it's going to make it a lot easier to fit that. And then take your other one and fit it that way. and then put your spacers on, and then go ahead and set this on top and place your screws in that way. So then go ahead and tighten all 4 screws down once you have them all started and get it in place. And this will really help in those cases where you have some MOLLE or some slots that are just too difficult to get in when it's pre-assembled. We're gonna look at one more thing. So if you need to take your accessory, and because of where it lines up on your belt, you have a receiver where your strap is going over, you're gonna notice that it's too thick for the spacers that are on there to reach over. It's not gonna work. That is why we've included 2 of the 1/2" spacers in with this as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you quickly how to swap the spacers out for the 1/2" spacers to help you fit on your belt. In order to start this process, you need to take these forks off. So go ahead and undo those 2 screws and take the forks off. Set that aside, make sure you don't lose hardware. This gets me access to the screws on the back side of the plate. Now, I take this, set the plate down. I can simply take these spacers off, they're pretty tight. If you want to use your teeth or some pliers, feel free. But I'm going to remove the short spacers and go ahead and stick the long spacers back on there, like so. Then I can put the screws back through the plate and into the inserts. When you put this back on, just look at it. Make sure everything is nice and straight and lined up before you tighten it down. Now I need to put the forks back on. So I'm going to take the nut and spacer, and the screw, and put this back on. Now you'll notice when you have the 1/2" spacers on the adapter that it will clear the front webbing of the belt and you can attach into that area. I hope this helps you guys out. If you have any other questions on how to assemble your Alias belt accessory, adapters, and that sort of thing, make sure you hit us in the comments below. Head to our website, theneomag.com. Our customer service is always happy to help you out. You guys have a great day.